One of the reasons why I love Android so much is the ability to customize everything or every part of the phone. Apple virtually has almost like a cult-like following, and people just like the system because it works. We can go all around because of this same topic, and I know people who like iPhone will always like iPhone, and people who like Android will always like Android. Most people end up switching blindly without really thinking whether this actually works in the context of what they really need from a mobile phone. This guy from Mobiscrub YouTube channel does it better than myself. So let's play his video and let me tell you my thoughts along the line.
I just switched to the iPhone 14 Pro after 12 years of using Android, and I have to tell you, it's not that easy. The iPhone may have a great camera, better battery life, and higher raw performance, but it lacks some basic smartphone functions, and that is annoying. First, there is no back button. In most apps, you will find it here on the top left corner, but wait, it could say back, or it could be an arrow, or it could just be an X. It's not the same every time, fellas. Also, it's not at the same spot every time. It could be on the top right corner, or even bottom left, so you really gotta keep looking. Sure, few apps will allow you to go back a step by swiping from the left in rare scenarios, so you really just have to try your luck. I mean, Android phones have a back button, and that is the first thing you're going to miss on the iPhone.
Let me tell you, this back button thing drove me crazy when I did my transition. I mean, it just drove me crazy and I had to go back to my Android.
By the way, includes call from all other apps like WhatsApp, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, and so on. I mean, I can't even access my call logs from 4 days ago. Second, there's no option to record phone calls. A lot of Android phones come with a built-in option to record phone calls, but on the iPhone, third, there is no T9 dialing. On Android, I can just type GAURAV and just call the one I want to get to. On the iPhone, you have to open the dialer, then contacts, then search and type the name, or go to Spotlight and search the full name to get to them. Absolutely. That is tedious. And Truecaller, a very popular caller ID service, doesn't work 100% of the times as it does on Android. I mean, your iPhone, and that's the one thing, the phone part, that you should do really well.
I absolutely do agree. You are a phone first before camera or any other thing. So in terms of phone, you have to be able to perform the basic phone features that we all know.
Or you disconnect your WhatsApp call and then accept the incoming call. Why? Look, on Android, here, if I'm on WhatsApp call and I get an incoming, I can pick up that call and it just puts my WhatsApp call on hold. So I can jump right back into it. And this problem in iPhone is not limited to just WhatsApp. The options to switch calls, it keeps changing depending on which app you're currently in. Just look at what I get for an incoming call on WhatsApp versus what I get for an incoming call on Skype. And so if you guys are in and out of meetings and phone calls, you're going to want to stick to Android. And now let's talk about the typing experience, which I think is quite poor. First of all, the accuracy of Apple keyboard's gesture typing is not at the same level as Google Keyboard. And sure, you can install Google Keyboard on the iPhone, but it's still not the same. First, I don't get the same accuracy. Second, there is no dedicated number row. I can't even adjust the height of the keyboard like I can on Android phones. And I don't get any of the useful tools as I do on Android. And guess what? There is no clipboard on Apple phones.
One of the reasons why I love Android so much is the ability to customize everything or every part of the phone. I love for my things to always be kind of reminiscent of just myself instead of following the generic pattern that everybody kind of follows. I know from the other side, somebody using an iPhone might say that, well, why do you have to change your working system? Apple has actually found a system that works for the iPhone, and the people just kind of love it. And for the most part, Apple virtually has almost like a cult-like following, and people just like the system because it works. Personally, for me, those things do not work because I just love freedom and the ability to be able to change things to look exactly just the way I want them, and not necessarily because everybody else uses the same thing or everybody else follows that pattern.
If I copy something somewhere, it immediately shows up for pasting within the keyboard. It's so neat and swift, and I can easily access my previously copied content and paste it wherever I need it. You're really going to miss that on the iPhone. And I really miss the fingerprint sensor. Look, the face unlock works like an absolute charm on the iPhone, undoubtedly. But it does mean that I have to bring it up to my face or bring my face down to it for it to unlock. A lot of times, I just like the flexibility of unlocking without having to look at it. It is handy at times and I definitely miss it. Alright, now, if you're a WhatsApp user, you're in a world of pain. First, Chats is the fourth tab after status, calls, camera. Okay, whatever. Second, you can't just select chats by long pressing them. You have to click on edit first and then you can multi-select chats. Okay, now let's say you want to forward photos from one chat to the other. On Android, you could just long press and just select and send it ahead. On the iPhone, you've got to figure it out. So you long press on one photo, click forward, and now it lets you select more photos to forward. A full extra step for no reason. Same goes for sending photos. Like on Android, you will just click on camera and multi-select photos. On the iPhone, you can only select one for the first time and then you click on plus to add more. That's quite lame. And the worst of it, if you're on a WhatsApp video call and you want to do something else on your phone and you snap out of it, your video is paused and only your voice is going through in that call. Like on Android, it becomes this picture-in-picture thing, right? So you can do something else and still see each other and talk. Now, I don't care whether this is a WhatsApp issue or an iOS.
The high level of customization on Android, guys. This is exactly what I was talking about.
And that honestly is a pretty bad experience. I also cannot take scrolling screenshots on the iPhone except for in Safari. So hang on, let's say I'm on the S22 Ultra. I can take a screenshot while on Instagram and then click here to take a longer screenshot and click again and take an even longer screenshot. And I get this now, which I can then save or share it with whoever. On the iPhone, I don't get any such option. You either just take a single screenshot and that's about it, or you take a screenshot in Safari where you get the option to convert into a full page PDF. And guys, these are more of the big issues or the experiential issues on the iPhone, but there are actually countless more annoying things about the iPhone. For example, iPhone won't let you change your hotspot name without changing the device name. You can't share your Wi-Fi internet through hotspot on other phones.
This thing drove me crazy when I tried using iPhone, because on my Android, I always change my tethering name into OBL Junior, but you can't do this without changing the name of the iPhone.
There isn't a USB-C compatibility as it is a global standard. And there is no easy way to transfer anything from your Windows computer to your iPhone without actually jumping through hoops like iTunes or something.
And also with the issue of the USB Type-C thing, now it's been incorporated into the latest iPhone as at the time of making this video.
If you're someone who constantly switches between meeting calls on Skype or Microsoft Teams and regular phone calls, the iPhone is going to drive you crazy. And if you're in a business where you rely on call recordings or call logs, the iPhone is not going to be of much help. See, Android in general just offers more flexibility, more functionality, and that too forms part of the experience. But hey, if these are non-issues for you on the iPhone or that you can work around these issues, then definitely stick with the iPhone or move to the iPhone because you get longer OS support, better performance, better battery life, and in general you get a premium design as well. Alright, that's pretty much it guys. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. What are some of your points that I may have missed? That would be good to see.
And apart from all the advantages that he has spoken about in terms of using an iPhone, one of the things you get is the seamless integration with all Apple ecosystem. Now you can just look at it from a positive perspective or a much more kind of a disadvantage or negative perspective, if I'm right to put it that way, because for economic reasons where I am located, I'm not willing to get deep into a rabbit hole of switching all my systems into Apple systems. Why do I say so? By buying an iPhone, you start to realize that on my Windows computer, you are not going to get that kind of seamless interconnectivity issues that you get when using all Apple products. So what does this mean? It means that to get that smooth experience and to be able to use great features like AirDrop, it means I have to buy an Apple computer in order to make my integration seamless. After that, I might need to be able to pick up phone calls without picking up my phone. That might actually lead me into buying the Apple Watch. And before you know it, you just keep buying more and more Apple and you get yourself stuck into this rabbit hole. Does it work? absolutely it does work because the integrations are usually, from my experience, very seamless and very spot on. And that is why it is going to draw you in and get you addicted into getting to buy more. And for me, I am not into that position to spend more, to start getting deep into this whole ecosystem. So it just depends on the perspective or from the angle at which you want to look at this from. It could be a very great master. At the same time, economically, it just does not make sense. My Windows computers work best for me. My Android systems work best for me. And just by buying a phone, I'm not ready for that to start leading me on a path of subconsciously making decisions of going the Apple way, despite the fact that you get the premium quality of the build, longer battery lives, better camera performance, and all that. These little details that makes a phone, for me, are kind of missing in the iPhone. And these are things that I do not think that are going to be addressed anytime soon, because changing some of these would actually mean changing the philosophy of the iPhone, which defeats the purpose, because as at the time of making this video, it's comfortable for one to say that Apple has a cult-like following all across the world, and people just like the way the system works. And so from a business perspective, it does not make sense to change a system that works. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. We can go all around because of this same topic, and I know people who like iPhone will always like iPhone, and people who like Android will always like Android. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. And if you see my face for the very first time, welcome. This is Africa Amaze channel. Over here, I do talk about cinematography, photography, editing, and all its related branches. We also watch movies and talk about other movie industries all across the globe. If all this sounds interesting, I do much appreciate it if you do click on the subscribe button, and please make sure to do turn on the post notification bell so you are notified anytime I drop awesome content like this right here from the continent of Africa. And I will catch you in this video where I talk about the truth behind the usage of phone cameras in content creation. Until next time, as always, guys, keep practicing filmmaking. Peace out.